Welcome back. Today in our Sunday Spotlight, UConn's new head football coach, Jim Mora, 2 months into his new job and on the road recruiting for the Stars of Tomorrow. He's joining us this morning, and we weren't kidding that he's on the road. He's on the road right now recruiting. Jim, thank you for being with us here on CT22. What's the first couple months as UConn head coach been like?
Yeah, it's been fantastic. It's just been really exhilarating. It's been inspiring. Getting to know the people of this area, New England, Connecticut, working with our administration, our athletic director, David Benedict, to build the vision for this program. And I tell you what, every day I jump up, get out of bed, and I'm fired up to attack the day as UConn's head football coach.
As someone who's been watching UConn football pretty much all my life, I can tell you, and I'm sure you've heard this from fans too, the last few years have been tough. The records have reflected it, but the crowds at the rent, just generally the mood around the football program, and certainly COVID hasn't helped. A head coach for any football team is important. You need X's and O's, you need a defense, you need an offense, you got to make recruiting decisions. But how much do you view your role as cheerleader for this program, head cheerleader in chief, to kind of get the state back behind it?
Well, I don't know if I'd use the word cheerleader, but, we have to build a product that people are proud of, that want to support, that want to come out to the rent and watch an exciting brand of football, both on offense and defense, and certainly special teams, and play good, tough, disciplined football that the people of Connecticut deserve. And, it's very natural when you struggle that, people lose faith. And what we have to do is we have to restore faith, restore hope. And like I said, make the rent the place to be on a Saturday if you want to see good football and you want to bring your kids to a great environment. And what we want to do is build a program where every kid, not only in Connecticut, but in the Northeast, says, I dream of playing football at UConn. I'm going to get a great education. I'm going to be set up for my future. I'm going to create a network of amazing people that are concerned about me and my future. And heck, I'm going to win a lot of football games along the way. So that's our objective.
One thing that you were very visible with during the fall, shortly after your hire, was being on the sidelines of high school football games, prep schools, but also public high school football games in Connecticut. Is that important to you to get that connection back with the local coaches and players?
It's critical. It's critical. You know what? Not every school is going to have great players every year, but we need to maintain relationships with these coaches that we can continue to build through the years so that they feel comfortable sending their players to UConn, and they know that their players are going to be taken care of, that we're going to serve their best interests, and that we have a chance to get the best players in UConn, and other teams aren't sliding in here because they've done a better job of building relationships with the coaches, with the parents, with the players. I sit here in a car right now out on the road recruiting, and it's just so important that we start to build that bond and that trust that's so important in recruiting. Like I said, I want every kid in the Northeast to dream about being a football player at UConn or a student athlete at UConn. And the only way we're going to get that done is to be visible, to get out in the community, to do good things, to win football games, to build trust. And we are on the road to doing that. It's a long road. It's a tough process, but our entire staff is committed to it.
You've been very active on social media. On Twitter, you use the hashtag Husky Revolution on a lot of your recent tweets. As you're talking to these recruits and trying to sell them on UConn, is that what it is? It's a revolution to try to change the perception of this program with them as well?
I think initially, I like the word revolution. It has a lot of different meanings, and certainly in the Northeast, it's a word that carries weight. But it's an uprising. It's a change in culture. It's immediate. It takes hard work, it takes commitment, it takes dedication, it takes belief, it takes trust. And it's just an attitude that we want to instill in our program initially. And this whole social media thing it changes daily. It's a little bit new to me initially, and I hadn't coached for a couple of years, but it's a way we can connect with our fan base, with the students, with the prospective student athletes. And it's been kind of fun for me. I think I might overdo it a little bit at times, but I enjoy it, actually. Now, I don't read the comments. That's one thing
that means somebody trained you well, Jim, that's for sure. You actually made a little splash on social media this week. Rob Cassidy from Rivals tweeted that Najee Harris, the Pittsburgh Steelers running back, once told him that Jim Mora told him he knew who killed Tupac during a recruiting visit. So did you tell Najee Harris you know who killed Tupac? And if you do, will you tell us?
Listen, I do not know who killed Tupac. I don't believe I would have ever told Najee that. I don't think Najee ever said that. I think this guy was just looking for some clicks. I don't know who Rob Cassidy is. I'm sure he's a great guy and meant well. But I'll tell you this. I had the opportunity to coach Diddy's son and Snoop Dogg's son, but I never had any connection to Tupac. So I'm to deny that ever took place.
Well, that's the most rapper references we ever had on this show, Jim. So bravo. A lot of people looking for some glimmers of hope as we slowly creep towards football season. Tell us about some of the guys you're recruiting, some of the guys already on the squad. Give us some good things to think about. We're starting to already think about those fall afternoons.
Well, I can't talk about the guys that haven't signed yet, but I can tell you that, we've got some mid-years coming in that we're excited about. I can talk specifically about Taquan Robertson, who's the transfer quarterback from Penn State, who we really like. He's already on campus. He's in classes. He's working out with our strength and conditioning coach. He's out throwing with the receivers. He comes from a big-time program. He's a winner, and we're excited about that. And, we're out here we're pounding the recruiting trail, trying to bring in really good players that fit our culture. They're good people. They're good men that are team-oriented. It's been exciting. And what we're trying to do is we're trying to outwork people. And we're trying to out-relationship people. And we're trying to be as genuine and transparent as we can be. We understand, the perception of UConn football maybe hasn't been the greatest. And that's not a knock on the people who have been here. That's just the way it went. But we are, dead set on changing that perception. And as I've said now twice in this interview, we want every kid, I'm expanded, not just in the Northeast, but along the Eastern Seaboard and in the Deep South. We want them dreaming about coming to UConn. I want to walk around town and see people wearing UConn football shirts, not just UConn or UConn basketball. We want that, UConn hockey, UConn baseball. We support all of our sports. I want every sport on our campus to be successful, but I really want to see an increase in people wearing UConn football stuff. And you know what? That's up to us. That's up to us as a program, as a staff, as players, to make sure that we're putting a product on the field and representing our school in this community in a way that people are proud of and want to jump on board with and support.
Well, certainly we can all tell how much enthusiasm you have for spreading that message. A lot of people said when the coaching search was on, they wanted someone who had been there and done that. Certainly UCLA, a couple NFL teams. You're that guy. We look forward to hearing more as you continue to spread that message, and hope you'll come back and talk to us as we get closer to the season and get those fans excited about getting out to the rent. Jim Mora, thank you for being with us here on CT22.
Well, thank you for having me.